Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Joey, and today I'm just gonna be doing something that I don't usually do, and that is talk about stuff. I guess that's actually something that I do a lot. So I'll leave the timestamps in the description so you can skip to whichever part you want to watch. And without further ado, let's get to our first story, which is Detective Conan. So basically, Detective Conan is getting a game. So this game is gonna be called Detective Conan Race to the Truth, which is going to be coming out this year, and it is going to be getting an English release, which is something that we don't actually see with a lot of Detective Conan games. The last one that we got was the Metropolis, or it was, the Wii U game that came out back in 2009, I guess, which was under the license of Case Closed back then. So we have come a long way since then, almost 10 years, and we finally have another Detective Conan game. And this is actually a mobile device game that can be played on Android devices and iOS devices, I guess. I'm not sure about iOS, but I'm pretty sure about Android. Um, so yeah, it is coming out for iOS and Android, and it is being licensed by, I guess, a few people in different regions of the world. And in the US, it's going to be called Case Closed Runner, which is something that I did not expect to see. I usually thought that it would actually be called Detective Conan, but for some reason they're calling it Case Closed, even though I believe the names in the game are actually the Japanese names, which I believe is the case for also the manga, but I haven't been keeping up with the North American release of the mangas. So some of the regions that this game is going to be is in Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Germany, Chile, Mexico, Switzerland, Saudi Arabia, Vietnam, and a whole list of others including Indonesia, Philippines, Spain, Brazil, Egypt, Italy, Norway, and this is where the game is going to be titled as Detective Conan. But in the United States, United Kingdoms, Canada, Australia, Netherlands, New Zealand, Denmark, Finland, Russia, Sweden, these countries are going to be having the name Case Closed Runners, which, yeah, it can be called anything. I'm just happy that we're getting an English Detective Conan game, which does look like it's gonna have a bit of story to it, as you can see on with the image on the screen right now. That it does have a bit of dialogue, but it's basically text, so it's not a big deal. But I'm happy that we are actually getting, a Detective Conan game in English. And up next, we have, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie that is going to be coming out this year, by Paramount, the same people who made the Ninja Turtles movie a few years ago. And they are posting or leaking stuff online. I mean, they're not leaking, stuff is getting leaked online, based on the movie. And they are looking a little bit on the freakish side, if you ask me, compared to, the original poster that we got a few months ago. This is way, way better. So props to you for having a good design artist. I mean, it was actually taken from the concept book that would be used for, marketing, and also that actually looks good. The other design does not look that great, and people have actually come forward and said that this second render is actually part of the Sony part when they were actually in negotiations with Sony. So that is pretty good. I'm happy that is not the case for this image because it looks freakish as hell. But in other news, we are getting SXSW next week, or I think within a few days. So South by Southwest is gonna be having a Sonic the Hedgehog panel, and I am pretty and almost sure that we might actually get a Sonic trailer, which seems really likely at this point. So within the next few hours, we might be seeing a new Sonic movie trailer, which I am not ready for. I am not ready. I don't know what I think about the Sonic movie. It has Jim Carrey, which is really cool. Ben Schwartz, who is great as Leo, and also in DuckTales. That's the only two places that I know him from. I actually do not know any of the other actors, except, Neil, who I saw in Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow, which he was good in Legends, but he wasn't that great in Arrow. But let's just see how it turns out. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about this movie. I just want this movie to come out, watch it, and just hope that it's at least captures Sonic and is at least like the TMNT original movies. And next we have the Avengers trailer, which is freaking mind blowing. I mean, I did not think that we would actually be getting a Avengers trailer so soon. Endgame is like almost a month away, and we are getting the final trailer for the movie because Captain Marvel came out and they had to put it out there, so I'm pretty happy that they did. It looks pretty amazing. I am so hyped for the quantum suits that they're wearing, and this is the culmination of 10 years, and I can't let anything happen to this movie because it is gonna be a blockbuster movie, and it is gonna be the highest grossing movie of this year, either way, even if it is good or bad. So there's no debating that, I guess, unless you take into account The Lion King and other movies that are coming out this year, like Star Wars. For the most part, it is gonna be the highest grossing movie of this year, at least. Okay, up next we have Persona Q2, which did actually come out with an English trailer, and it looks really awesome. I am really happy with how this turned out. Yeah, it doesn't have an English dub, which is something that is really upsetting. I was really expecting a dub for, at least the anime, and that didn't come. Persona Q2, which has all of the Persona characters, no, it's not getting a dub too. It's just getting a sub, and I don't know, the dancing game, which is for a main console, did actually get a dub, but a game for a handheld console does not seem worth it. I mean, I did actually go through the sales numbers for, Persona Q and Persona 5 dancing, and um, Persona Q1 did not do as good as Persona Q. I mean, Persona Q1 did better than Persona Q2 in Japan, and also the sales numbers for Persona 5 dancing were a lot more compared to Q1. Yeah, so basically, they might have not thought it would be profitable to hire all the voice actors because keep in mind, this is a whole lot of characters, not just the main cast of Persona 5. That would be a whole lot of money spent for a little bit of return. So I do get why they didn't do it, but at the same time, I'm a bit upset that they didn't actually do it because it was a freaking crossover. I I don't know why. Sometimes Persona 5, it became really huge, and they didn't actually. I mean, they might have actually seen the Persona 5 dancing numbers and actually thought that Persona Q2 would actually be doing less, which is rightfully so. It would actually definitely do less. Yeah, I'm just over it. I'm of course I'm gonna be playing the game once I'm able to, and once I get a 3DS, I guess, which might not be anytime soon, but I will be watching some playthroughs and some more trailers and some more other stuff because this is gonna be cool. I haven't even checked out the reviews yet, but that's because it's just out in Japan, I think. The cinematic trailer looks cool. April is gonna be an awesome month. That is hands down the best month of this whole year. I mean, you're starting off with Shazam and ending it with Avengers, and in between, the awesome burger that is April is the Joker DLC that is going to be coming for Smash Bros. He's definitely going to be a lot of people's main for the foreseeable future of Smash, which is freaking mind blowing. I thought that Shazam would actually get a chance to have some breathing room in between it's and the Avengers Endgame movie, which is kind of like 2 weeks, and 2 weeks is, I guess, a lot of time, or somewhat of a lot of time, and seeing the goodwill that this movie is having and the good positive feedback that it's getting, it is gonna be an awesome movie, and a lot of people are gonna be watching it. But at the same time, some people are gonna be thinking, should I watch Shazam or should I watch Endgame? And that is the question that some people will actually be leaning a bit over to Endgame if they want to be in the loop of the MCU, and some people will be leaning over to Shazam, which is a different superhero movie. And if they have superhero fatigue, they would sort of lean over to that if they're just feeling it just a bit and want something a bit more fresh in the superhero genre. And that's something that might actually be a sort of a factor that this is a thing. But yeah, I guess that's it. That is basically it. I know this is like a new type of video format that I'm doing, but I just do not want to crowd everyone's sub feed with video after video after video and blocking up the whole space. So just cram it all into one video, uploaded it, put it out there. Whichever part you want to watch, it's down in the description. You can skip to whichever part if you want, because you might actually skip to the end of the video and you're not sure what part you want to watch. So check the description. Everything's down there. Time codes, everything. Yeah. So that is basically it on this sort of like podcasty recap of everything that happened in the past few months on from everything from Sonic to MCU and Detective Conan and Persona 5. Yeah, so I don't know if you like this type of video and want to see like shorter versions of everything crammed into a single video, and you kind of like this format, just hit the like button and tell me that you liked it in the comments down below. And if you disliked it, just tell me in the comments. Yeah, that's basically it, because that's the only two ways you can communicate to YouTube videos as of now. You can go to the community page, which is still a thing, I guess. There's no more YouTube messages, but I'm just ranting at this point. Okay. So, thank you for watching this video. Hit the like button and tell me if you liked it or not. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.